shoe? How did I lose a shoe? Oh, there. It's under the pressure steam sterilizer. Don't worry. They're soaking wet. Went out to the yard. Golly. Yeah, going on vacation tomorrow. Gonna get this mind free and somewhere else, man. This is kooky. I got some rye grainberry work to do. I might plug in the thing, but I'll let it go. So I'm gonna look to get chestnut mushrooms. Started on some rye grainberries. I'm putting the tent into total hibernation. I'm locking down the lights, shutting down the humidifier, stopping the exhaust. I turned the heater on for a while just to get the place a little warmer, but that's it. Shaved the beard because I'm going to a warm climate. Golly. Had kind of a rice dinner. Some veg. Could have used some protein. But yeah, things are clipping along, dude. It was like a blizzard this afternoon. I mean, we had insane levels of snow, and then the rain came. I'm driving back. I mean, the puddles would bring my truck to a stop, and it would just wave over me. I thought I was going to get pulled into the yards. I thought I was going to get pulled into traffic. It was crazy. So, and then the rain just got on the ice that was already there and just gave it a nice, there's no traction. But, no, I got a bunch of bags I got to get rid of here. I got to throw them into the yard. Let me turn these lights on. I don't even know if they're necessary. Golly. Oh. No, I'll do this little project and then get going. Move that over there. Something like that. This is ridiculous. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, pinball tournament went well. Christmas in Sitka went okay. I think I'm looking forward to getting out of town, though. This weather is just intermittently chaotic. Without the truck, I wouldn't be able to get up half these driveways. So, oh yeah. Got no chat. Got no fans. I'll do the mushroom project here in a minute. It's just so short-lived. It's not going to last very long. Oh, sure. I think I mean, I've been making YouTube for 19 months. This has just been ridiculous, but yeah, I'll fire up the laminar flow hood. I'll get the impulse heat sealer thing going on. This guy will sterilize an old tool I've been using. I'll grab it. I'll just wash it. This is a petri dish of chestnut mushrooms, mycelium. Hey. I try to be cool. I think I got a little mushroom setup in my garage here. This is Sitka, Alaska, and it is winter time, so I can hear something banging around out there. Bears are mostly hibernating, but yeah, we haven't had many trash bears. We've been blessed this winter, there was one winter I had every Tuesday, 2 in the morning, the dogs would start flipping out. And then I would run. I knew exactly. And so I'd run downstairs, and there's the bear dragging my trash into the park across the street. So I get out there in my underwear, and I'm like screaming at the bear, and it'll run away, and then it'll stop, and then it turns around, and it's just like, whatever, man. It goes back to my trash can. The neighbor who I work with now, he started yelling at it. And then if we get the twofer, then the bear goes away. So, Sitka, Alaska, brown bears. Now, here's the funny thing. I lived in Juneau, black bears. In Juneau, everyone's afraid of brown bears. I moved to Sitka. We got brown bears. Everybody's afraid of black bears. Oh, yeah. I think they'll get you. I mean, I've heard of 2. I've lived here for 7 years. I've 2 maulings. 3 maulings. They don't really have any desire to eat us. Humans, we're just not appetizing. Sharks don't really want us. Bears don't really want to eat us. Orcas don't want to eat us. It's kind of a strange. They'll kill us, but we're not an appetizing creature. My social security number is 7. Oh, bald eagles. I saw 2 bald eagles at Starry Gavin. I guess it's just called Star Gavin. Yeah, there you go. Star Gavin has a lot of pinks come in, but there was these 2 bald eagles just kind of sitting there. There's a lot of ice next to the stream coming out, or the river, and they were quite majestic. And then there were six swans, just intermittently sparsed out on the way up. So yeah, the mushroom farm is going to go into hibernation here for a couple weeks, and like 2, and then we'll get fired back up again. I've got some. It's kind of chilly in here. I cooled it down. I've got some bags working. Hopefully those will be ready when I get back. I'm going to an anniversary event down south, as we say. And then I'll have some rye grain berries ready to go, and we'll just get the process going. So the objective here is develop relationships with restaurants so that we can hit the summer cruise ship tourist season. Lion's Mane's been fun. I've been having some more success with that again. Yeah, I guess that is my favorite. It's the way it is. Chestnut mushrooms. I did a mushroom farm down in Vegas, and he basically said chestnut mushrooms. Restaurants love them. They taste good. They're beautiful. That sort of thing. Lion's Mane has, it's a little bit more culturally exciting. I think people are eager for like health benefits and things like that. It tastes fantastic. The texture is amazing. The first time I ate a lion's mane, I was like, oh, I have yet to have a mushroom until I eat this. It's all right, well, maybe I need to get the mallet out. Start plugging some things in here. Let me begin. All right, this guy will sterilize. This guy will seal the bags. Fire up the laminar flow hood, get my mallet. It's been a day, yeah. Work's just been crazy. I worked through the holiday because I needed my time off. Okay. Oh my. Oh my. Might just store this on the side. Yeah, the rye grain berry. So 90 minutes, 15 psi, sterilized rye grains. I'm gonna put the chestnut mushrooms, or this plate of chestnut mushroom mycelium into these 2 bags. So I'll split the plate. I don't mess around anymore. I used to try to like spread it thin, make it go far, but I can do this a lot. So this is some pretty nice mycelium there. It's been in the fridge. That is a fully colonized plate. Canning salmon. So I'm really hoping for a good salmon year. I get a lot of sockeye. So, but the processing is pretty tough. I mean, you gotta catch the fish, process the fish, then you bring it back after being out on the water and at the waterfall all day, and then you gotta package it, freeze it, or smoke it, whatever, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. All right, so this is my thing. This thing gets too hot, we'll put it on the low setting, and then I don't let it sit in there anymore because it will become scorching. So that's some good rye grain berries. I got gypsum in there. That's nice. They feel good. They feel like a good texture. They're not soggy. Hopefully they don't clump together. I'll throw half a plate in one, half a plate in the other. Man. I'll finish packing and then I'll fly out tomorrow. I'm going to Houston, Texas. Smoked salmon with barbecue sauce on it. I've never heard of that. I've heard honey. Soak mine in honey. Or I try to. Well, and I've been saying that this mushroom farm is going to get going for a long time, but I feel we're close. I'm close. Just some small nuances. The next trip I got to go on is a golf trip in April. So hopefully I'll have a couple of renditions. All right, I will. That sounds lovely. Hopefully a couple mushroom rounds before I go on my trip. And then as soon as I get back, full production mode, and then I'll hit the cruise ship season. So we get about 500,000 people here in a 3 to 4 month period, and hopefully they'll be eating my mushrooms and watching my haphazard short format videos. Yeah, the town's been strange. We had just a beautiful sunset, and then we had icy roads, and then the lake was frozen over. So everybody's like wandering around on the ice, or they're like parking on the side of the road and looking at the sunset. Or walking in the street because the sidewalks are so jagged. Just touch that broom. Well, appreciate that. It's been a grind. It's been a grind. I think I'm coming up at about a year of me having access to the garage, and it's come a long way. Most of it was cleaning. Had a pressure wash, treat the concrete, installed gladiator racks, bought this massive tent that is now obstructing everything. So, all right, where am I at? I got my laminar flow hood on. I got to clean this. This is still pretty cold. Give it a second, and then I'll move my my chestnut mushroom mycelium into the rye grain bags. I'll just leave that one in there. Ta-da. Have a good night. Yes, you as well. I'll bring out here. I got some mycelium growing on this while I'm waiting for my little sterilizer to warm up. Let me see if I can. So I kind of feel bad for these guys. I've been neglecting them, and I've put them in a cold environment because I secretly want them to colonize slower. But actually, I'm getting some really beautiful mycelium growth. Look at that. Look at that. That's very. And I'll tell you why I'm happy with this. Well, first of all, no contamination. Ooh, look at that side. These are even prettier. But also that the mycelium is growing at the bottom. What I have, a lot of times when I have problems, it'll consolidate at the top. And what I think is happening is it's a moisture level issue. So this is master's mix substrate. And I have to wet it. And so what'll happen is I'm going to take the petri dish of chestnut mushrooms. I'm going to put it into this bag of rye grain berries. This will colonize about 8 days. I'll do a break and shake. And then from the rye grain berries, I put those into the master's mix substrate. So that's what happened here. And now the mycelium is colonizing the master's mix substrate. From here, and when I get back from vacation, this will go into the tent. Okay? CO2 levels drop, high humidity, and what I'm doing now is a pretty considerable amount of light, and then fruit. So, well, this is beautiful mycelium. I don't usually get to capture it like this, but I turned the heater off in the garage. And it's growing basically in slow motion. Sometimes I feel like I'm in slow motion. Like my bag of dirt here. So, that's life. Let's see. That thing is still cold. Well, we'll leave this guy out. He might be a recurring theme. He won't mind. Same dealey-wop with the master's mix. 15 psi, 90 minutes. I did really well with contamination for a long time, but I had a huge breakout. But it was a whole sequence. And sometimes I think I get a little lazy with the 90 minutes. It's just such a rigmarole. And then I got to watch it, and then it's getting late, and I got to work tomorrow, and it's like 9:45, and I'm just like, you know what? Good enough. Kill it, unplug it, and then I just kind of let it sit. But I must have gotten too lazy and not done the thing. So errors that I've experienced. Too much or not enough too much. Usually, sometimes I've added too much gypsum to the rye grain berries. Sometimes God, what was it? What did I decide? Too wet. I think I'm getting it too wet. The Master's Mix substrate. So too much gypsum in the rye grain berries, too much water. No, I think I flip-flopped. I think it was too little or too much. So water in Master's Mix substrate. And then where else have I had? CO2 levels. Oh gosh. You have to exhaust the air. The lion's mane will turn into this coral. You're almost afraid to go near it. And then I guess what I mentioned before, which was not fulfilling the sterilization protocol. So usually this thing gets kind of like hot in there. This is, I would argue that the infrared sterilizer thing is the most dangerous. It just gets so flippin' hot. I have a front-loaded laminar flow hood, which I love. I mean, this beauty is this is a treasure. I love her. And the farm tour I took down south, though, they had top down. But I don't have anywhere. I don't have a lab. I mean, this is a one-man garage. I would say if I could do it again, the 10x10 is a bit large. Maybe 2 6x6s. I think that would be more logical. I'm running into pockets of humidity in the tent. So, oh my. Yeah, it's just been so cold. Here, let me turn it on I'll turn it on the hot one and see if I can get it started. I just have to remember to turn it off or not leave this frickin' thing in there too long because it'll turn into a lightsaber. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what I need else to. Yeah, just I might take all the water out of the humidifier and just let it dry out. That might be a good idea. I'll just take the water out and turn the fan on and let it dry out. It's a good plan. Kind of have to go to the bathroom, but I don't want to. I'm all set up. I'm all ready to go. Looking forward to summer already. Look forward to. But at the same time, I got a lot to do. I mean, this is gonna be a crazy 4 months. If I can't become operational by summer, I mean, maybe this is just, it would. I'll be going. This looks good. That looks phenomenal. Look at that. What do you want to call those? Rhizomorphs? Look at that. I can even feel it's solid at the bottom. Beautiful. This is the complete. You know, I think my incubation chambers are too hot. And I think they're cooking the bottom and the mycelium's running away from it. Let me find another one, see if it's doing the same thing. Well, now this one's not. Well, kind of is. All right, so I would argue that this one is more. Oh man, no, it's pretty all over the place. I mean, we've got a little bit, not as much on the bottom as I'd like, but it's definitely moving towards the top. And then when I fruit it, I've been taping over the patch, folding it down, and really making some pretty substantial cuts because just looking at it, yeah, this is, man, mycelium is such a beautiful, it has such beautiful growth patterns, especially through such a a nice substrate. So, but I like how this is. It's all right. It's a little bit on the top, but not too bad. You know, I think I might just abandon the incubation chambers. I've got them. They might be cooking them. Might be cooking. This guy. So, like I said, I'm keeping the garage pretty cold. So these are like dormant, nearly. But boy, you can feel the texture. I mean, it's real strong. The bottom's it's nice and universal. So, so this is Master's Mix substrate. What I'm doing right now, or what I'm waiting to do once my little sterilizer heats up here, I'm gonna move chestnut mushroom mycelium from this plate into a bag of ryegrain berries. I'm going on vacation, and then the ryegrain berries, once colonized, will go into a bag of Master's Mix substrate and create what we're seeing here now, which is a slow colonization process of that Master's Mix substrate. Once this is colonized, it will go into the fruiting tent. CO2 will drop, humidity will be applied, and light. I've been pretty generous with my light cycles. And then we will hopefully get some, I think this is lion's mane. I didn't label it, again. Hopefully the lion's mane will be ready to go. The chestnut mushrooms will be flying. And I'll be cooking. I'm hoping from January to April, I'm really hoping to get a good system down. And then I'm going golfing in April. And then after April, tourism hits. We get 500,000 tourists come to a town of 8,000 from May 1, basically until August. May, June, July, August. So it's about 4 months. And then, yeah, it'll be a mushroom fest, Sitka, Alaska. Kaboom. Golly. Okay, let me clean my hands, sterilize this thing. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Clean me, okay. All right, yeah, this thing's piping. I don't even like to rest it in there. I mean, it goes so fast. This just needs to, this could be a point of contamination though, for sure. But half the time, let me just, okay. If I cook it too far, then I have to let it sit out and cool down, which is then, in and of itself, a contaminant. So there's a sweet spot here. All right. There we go. I am just going to let it sit just for a second. Got the laminar flow hood going here. We shouldn't have. That is a. Come on. All right. All right. Here we go. I don't want to touch it too much. Okay, what am I doing? I am now taking my Petri dish. I'm going to move this so it's in the fan. Clean air. Lovely. Beautiful mycelium. So I want to let that cool down a little bit more, just a couple more seconds, so I'm not searing the goods. I'm gonna do half of this in here, and I used to cut little tiny wedges, but now I'm just making big chunky ones, throwing it in, sealing it, and then breaking it up with my hands once it's in there. All right, I really like how that cut through. And I'm gonna make quarters. All right, I'm already liking this. I haven't worked with chestnut mushroom mycelium much at all. It's a real smooth mycelium. Oh yeah. Slick. It's much different. I think blue oyster. Let me not get too sidetracked here. I try to avoid touching the lips. I like to try to capture air in it. I haven't really mastered that, so that it has more, so it's more malleable. Okay, we're going impulse heat sealer here. Should tell me when it's, all right. See, nothing better than a good seal. I live for a good seal. Okay, so I got the wedges in there, and when I mix it, so these should just kind of, oh yeah, and they just kind of break up. I don't like to mandle them too much, but this just seems like the best strategy from my research. So just break them up a little bit, try to move them around. See, this has enough air. Sometimes it's too. And I really like the rye grain berries right now. They're not soggy. Sometimes I get them, I'm just like, man, it's like a mush. So the rye grain berries they speak to me and they say, good job. Now this thing is piping hot again, right? So this is I got a Joan Lab or whatever the flip of this is, but it's, see, I can hear it just attacking the thing here, and just a little bit of love. In fact, I'm going to turn it to low, and then I'm going to turn it off pretty quickly. So here we go. We got another bag of rye grain berries. I only did 2. I'm just kind of trying to keep the flow going. I'm really working on the process of the whole thing. There always seems to be some ridiculous issue. I'm going to fail until it works. So, all right, here we go. We got the other 2 wedges here. Well, I'll show them to you. I think the condensation's a little bit less. That is chestnut mushroom mycelium, okay? And, oh, fuck. Ta-da-ta-ta. All right, that thing probably cooled down a little bit. Just gonna hawk these puppies in there. I'm gonna turn that off. And again, it appears that air is captured inside. I'm gonna give this the best seal I've ever seen. Clips off. And nice. Epic. Just gonna double check. Sometimes it's like, one time I turned it and it was like, that's, yeah, so then like I said, I'm gonna kind of break apart the wedges with my fingers once they're in there. What's the alternative? I can cut little tiny pizza slices all over the place. It's just more touch points, more opportunities for contamination, more frustration. So I've really kind of gone to big chunks, mix it up. I'm feeling some moisture on me right now. I think it came from the outside of the bag from pressure seat sterilizer. Either that, or I'm throwing it on myself. So this is good. This is exciting. Okay, so I want to get that one a little buried down. Right? All right. So the mycelium should take over the rye grain berries. It's usually about 8 days. And then maybe 10 days, I do a break and shake. And then 3 days after that, I move it to the master's mix substrate. I want to say 10 to 14 days for the master's mix to get colonized. Then it goes into the grow tent. Humidity, exhaust fan, CO2 gets dropped, lights. I'm doing about 12 on, 12 off. And then 2 weeks for a fruit. So we're looking at kind of like a 6-week process for me to create some mushrooms. Let me make sure this thing is off. I'll unplug it. These are going to colonize really slowly because the garage is going to get cold while I'm gone. And I'm okay with that. We are slowing it down. We are slowing it down. I think I'm going to abandon ship. I'm going to put these rye grain berries in my little pot, my little unused tent over there. I'm going to turn it all off and call it quits. I'm going on vacation. Mushroom farm is in full swing, though. We're looking good. We're looking good. I'm going to do some research while I'm eating and getting fat. And man, I need some time off from work. This will be great. So farewell. All good. Grateful. Bye.